So, welcome to the December 2024, the last month of 2024. This is the forecast that Nancy and I do together. We are right now live streaming into the Cosmic Earth Weavers community. And of course, if you catch this later, either in the community or via replay and other social media spaces, say hi to us. As we are doing this recording and doing this reading today, it is November 27th. Every single month, I say, where did this month go? And when I say that, I mean like every month, it just seems to go quicker. And I'm not like in my world, in my system, personally, it just like honestly, this month seemed like it went even more fast than the other months. Like I'm did we not just do our forecast for this month? Apparently it was pretty much a month ago. So Nancy, are you feeling this month just was extra fast?
Absolutely. And I was like, and for me, Thursdays seem to be the holy what the kind of thing. Like, how is it Thursday again? And I'm like, it was Thursday yesterday. Like it literally a week feels like it's a day. And I'm
Right.
just like, what is happening here? Um, and yeah, I feel like I start out every message to people like, I know I sound like a broken record, but how is it this day? Or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, all right, slow down. And so in that, I was thinking before we came on the call, like I'm seeing so many people talking about 2025 already, and right, like their forecasts and their plans and words of the years and all the things. And I was just like, amazing. Like, yes, let's prepare for all of that, but also like, let's stop. Let's like enjoy this last 5, 6 weeks we have of 2024. Like, please, December, give us some slowdownness.
Totally. Let's give us some slowdown. Um, yeah, what I do, guys, when I'm kind of okay, I'm about to prep for the month ahead for this forecast. I sit with my pen and paper. I sit with my what are my latest version that I'm using of the Magic of Eye calendar, which you guys, if you follow me, you know that I love this calendar. Nancy does. A lot of our community people probably get this, and I know the people that have done astrology. This is the with me, and Nancy's been with me with the last couple of rounds, but this is the one we recommend. So I sit with this. I open up to the month and just kind of sit with the beautiful energies that's on this very first page with my pen and paper and just kind of listen in. And this month, when I was like, okay, I'm moving my energy into December. I know, like Nancy just said, a lot of people are already talking about 2025 and prepping and doing all the things, and which is great because that's it's almost like a habit, and the energy is running so quickly that it's just pushing us through too. And yet, these are the messages that were downloaded. So I was like, when I kind of sat and I was like moving the energy, feeling the essence and messages for December, but also personally for us as self-healing and where we each need to be, what Spirit's saying. And then I go out to collective energy. But the very first thing was like, um, noticing like that the fact that we are in the spirit, we're moving into the spirit of Christmas, the spirit of the holidays. It was like, you know, feel that energy. You're moving through a doorway from November to December into the spirit of magic. And Nancy and I talked about this a lot last year because we did some workshops and things about
Mhm.
the holiday. So it's like, remember, there's nothing like the spirit of magic and the spirit of Christmas. And then I heard pull the reins back, literally almost like on Santa's sleigh, pulling the reins back and kind of like, whoa, with the horses, with the reindeer, slow it down, slow it down. So it felt extra important because, you just heard Nancy and I once again come on to the Cosmic Earth Weavers forecast here for the month. And we talked about, oh my gosh, it's so fast. Everything's so fast. This last month, it just went even more fast. we have the choice to also weave time, the speed, right? So there's a slow it down. How does that feel to slow it down, to drink it in the season, to drink in December and all what it is and what it brings? So whether you do a lot of holiday things, activities, you have kids and you're running around and you're doing Christmas shopping or Christmas concerts or holiday festivals of lights and Christmas tree and decorating your house, all those beautiful things. How are you savoring it? And how can you slow down time, the essence of experiences, the moments for yourself? It was just like so much about that. Um, And it also, the message was like, schedule the time to be, to breathe, to smell, to see the magic of this season. And then the other big message that came in, what gift will you give yourself? Buy yourself something. It literally was buy yourself something, or like you don't have to maybe even put money, but like something that you are going to gift yourself, that you're so aware and present in that moment when you receive it for yourself. So I kept on seeing things like a beautiful candle. And right now, Shy Wolf candles are on sale. There, I'm like, oh, I'm out completely of them. And I'm like, oh, I can see me buying a beautiful new Shy Wolf candle that I just love. And it's that moment of like enjoying opening up the box, smelling the candle, lighting the candle, sitting with the candle, reading a book, writing, journaling. So it was like that kind of like, what will you gift yourself that makes you happy? So that was what was coming in, was like a book, a journal, something nurturing, cozy, maybe a lovely new blankie to snuggle up with for the season. So what can you gift yourself that you can just really stop and be present with, though, too, right? Like really be present, like, oh, I got myself this. Okay, great. That's awesome. No, no. So there's these really important moments for us, these opportunities for us to practice how we can be more present in the moment, in the season, to drink it in. There's really like this breathing, smelling, drinking, savoring kind of feeling. And when we learn and master those energetics, time will do its thing and it will like keep moving on, but we will take in more of the beauty and the essence of life. And so December is giving us that opportunity. That's what I hear very strongly for this month, um, for us. So Nancy, did you, as we kind of just set energetic pace and tone and messages that come in for December, what kind of feel and energy was coming in just with messages and that?
Hmm. So what I have written down from one very much like you, sitting down and being like, okay, let's feel into this, really is around this realignment with faith and the faith in yourself, first of all, right? Before we can go out and believe in anything else and have that true faith, because there's belief and then there's faith, right? And it's like belief is that like yes, yes, yes. Faith is that knowing. And it's just like, and then when you talked about scheduling that time for the senses and everything, it just really clicked it together even deeper for me, of just like that, using all of your senses in December to really trust and know and have faith in your inner wisdom and your inner knowing. And then from that place, like then connecting outwards. And like we have a two energy month for December, and just really remembering that all of those senses. I really love what you said about that. That's just like those are the pieces that were just putting it all together for me. But like connecting with your senses, treating your senses like they are your partners, because they're part of you, right? And it's like in that then using all of your clairs and all of that to then enhance your connections with your community, with your partners, with spirit, with relationship, and just like using this December to really celebrate. Like the celebration really came through. Like obviously we have all of these, we've got winter solstice, Christmas, New Year's, all of the things, starting with American Thanksgiving tomorrow. Like we're in this season already, right? But it's just like there's all of these beautiful opportunities to celebrate, but don't wait for those days. Do it every day. Like take a moment each day to celebrate something. So even greater than like a gratitude practice. Sorry, you obviously heard that. I've got to
Did
seclude
anybody
this.
pass out in the house there? Whoa.
Well, I have a kid homesick, so I'm like, what happened up there? What is she up? Um, I hear movement again. She's okay.
Okay.
Like it's like taking that gratitude practice to that next level, like, and like having gratitude, like, but then like celebrate it, share it with somebody, shout it out from the rooftops. Yeah.
Yeah. The I think of, I'm getting that the baking that some of us like to do at holiday season, right? Like the Christmas cookies and squares and even the dinners, right? Um, the simmering pots that some of us like to do, which I'm looking forward to doing one because I'm in the middle of moving. The next 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing a move to the next house. So I'm like, the things I want to set into place, right? But they all have like smells and colors. And that's really being, yeah, like in the moment and feeling and drinking it in. And in the partnership, like you said, this two energy monthly partnership of the season and all the things that we're doing. And there is something about scheduling and scheduling in the sense of like a plan and really being focused and anchored, like rooted so that we can see things. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I haven't had as much as that focused timer scheduling kind of stuff as much as I used to. And I actually really enjoy that kind of energy. And I'm sure some of you still live quite maybe a lot to calendars and schedules, but even if you do, can you root it in and be more present with what you're putting there and feel that it's like excitement of something that's coming up and you're really slowing down to get ready for it instead of half-assing shit and running around like flying around like a crazy woman going, okay, I have to get this, I have to do this, and oh my gosh, we have this and this and this, and it's great, but blah, 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 blah. Like that deep breath, right? Um, and I thought as we go into this, I just want us to, as we start this month, I also was thinking, Nancy and I kind of switched up a little bit how we do the forecast, and Nancy doesn't even know that I'm about to say this. So she's gonna, oh, this is how we're doing it this month, which obviously she's probably already downloading, getting this feel, is the really like anchor it like pillars are this our forecast. So I'm just gonna do a little grounding in. Then I'm going to go to the forecast for astrology highlights. Then we're going to go to Nancy for numerology. And then we're going to do our weekly cards. Just so you guys know all of this, if you're coming back on the replay, if you're here with us now, this is the flow and the essence we're going to do. So if it's safe for you to close your eyes for a few moments and just come into this present moment, whatever the day and time is, if you're here with us live or later on, just closing down the eyes, feeling where you are, feeling into the breath and letting the breath breathe you. So letting it breathe you as you take a beautiful deep breath in and a beautiful exhale out, letting all that energy and essence drop down like a beautiful rooting tree. And breathing in, again, nice deep breath in and out. deepening within yourself and into this moment. And when you take your next deep breath in, just kind of breathe in the beauty and the essence that's already surrounding and wakening up in the season, breathing it in. And a beautiful exhale out, and let that essence of what you feel kind of go down and deep into the roots. And one more time, this deep breath in, and let it swirl around you, this beautiful energy. And with the exhale, let that essence of this energy drop down around you, cascading and dropping all the way down into deep roots of the essence and energy all around you in your life. So gently open your eyes, and the essence, that word was like trying to jump out. What's the essence that we're breathing in, and the essence that we're deeply exhaling out and rooting down, but also feeling? And I woke up this morning even last few days of energy kind of just floating around. But I remember this morning feeling sparkly golden light, like almost like that wrapping around a Christmas tree energy. And I could feel this magic. And I was thinking, oh, I feel you. I see you. And I'm like, let this keep weaving around me, through me, and into my life. So taking little moments of what is the essence that you feel? What is the essence that you desire to have and feel throughout December? And for those of you that want to think about, oh, we're going to go into a new year, what's the essence of all of that you will carry and amplify into the new year? So this, like the here and the now and the expanding, it's almost like this. I keep on seeing, a beautiful Christmas tree, whether that relates to Christmas holiday tree, and that essence of it getting fuller, the branches in it, how it's like moving out and breathing. Almost the branches themselves of the evergreen tree have this up and down in this breath. So can you move and be part of that essence yourself? So Nancy, how's that feel for you? The essence of the breathing in and
I really, really love that. And just the intentionality and the awareness of it. Like just like um it's the invitation to slow down and actually notice, as opposed to just being, but go, 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 right? And just, I feel like there's always more room for that. And it just feels very easeful to be like, yes. Um, like when you were doing this, it just felt like just by taking those pauses, you're creating so much more space and time. It's weaving that time that we both want.
weaving the time. And, I don't think we did this last year. I think it might have been 2 years in the Cosmic Earth Weavers, and I think I've done it in other communities. But putting in how we're celebrating and the magic of things.
Mhm.
And that might be just a beautiful thing in the community, as sharing things like recipes, activities that we're or just like the stuff we're going out to see and do, and the magic of things. So those of you in the Cosmic Earth Weavers community, throughout the month of December, and Nancy and I will definitely, we do lots of magical things. So let's just like put magic for the month of December into the community, and let us all just celebrate that for each other, but like let it amplify. The word amplify, even though we're on a 2 energy month, it almost feels like there's a 3 wanting just to really push in there, even though, I mean, when we turn this month, we go into the year, we won't be going into a 3 at all, but it almost like it wants to grow. It wants to bloom. So, and maybe that, as I say that, as I'll move now into the astrology, the fact that we are in Sagittarius season right now, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is all about a three kind of energy of blessings and abundance and like all those things just amplifying, coming in, right, into our lives. So Sagittarius seasons, which we just got into a few days back on like the 21st, we moved into this beautiful like let's go out and explore, right? It's the archer energy of Sagittarius. It's the explorer, it's the adventurer that's like it wants to go out now. It's gone through a journey, right? We've all gone through a journey and grown throughout this year. And now it wants to take the essence of things, the lessons and all the goodness, and wants to enrich ourselves and go from like we're starting to move from knowledge and experience into the deeper wisdom and that, but we need the experience. We need to go out in a different way to go, okay, well, what will this look like and feel? What have I learned? How will I embody this in a different way? We just came from Scorpio season. We've been rebirthed. We're constantly going rebirthing, it seems these days, but we just left that Scorpio. So it's like, let's go out and explore. And so that beautiful energy of exploring through the month of December up until when we move into Capricorn season, which will happen on the 21st this year. So winter solstice, Yule, will arrive December 21st at 1:21 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and then 4:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So that's when we're really turning of the sacred wheel, as I say. That's like Cardinal saying, the starting, right, of a new energy that's coming in. The sun is returning. We hit that longest night, right, on that winter solstice. It's like the darkest, longest, but then it starts shortening, right? But we're still in the darkness, right, throughout that winter season. But we're celebrating that energy coming in. And so then we go from that fiery Sagittarius, which we're in. See, I want to get out there. I want to explore to earthing of like, how am I going to really earth this in and just embody? But also that wisdom of deepening and being and not doing. Now, when I say not doing, it is a cardinal sign. And we get this feeling, new year, we got to get it going. Cardinal signs want to get things going and creating, but it's in a different, wiser, crone, sacred woman energy, sage energy that just wants to deepen within it. And the energy that comes out is more, the word I just want to say is wise within us and how we want to move with our energy outwards. But it's more grounded, it's more rooted, it's more calm. It's very nurturing, right? It's that sitting around the fireplace with your cup of tea at night and just being, or sitting in storytelling, or it's in the dream time energy. So take these first 3 weeks of December as that, okay, we got fiery energy. We want to go exploring. We want to get out. We want to explore the holiday season events and things that are going on. We want to amplify with that Jupiter energy, receive in abundance and blessings and giving them out the gifts so that we can turn in just a few days before Christmas on the 25th, like Christmas. So we can really still and be more ready into quietness of ourselves and what the celebration is. So the other thing as we move into the astrology and what's happening for the month with our new moons and full moons. So there is, depending on where you live. So for me, over here on the east side of Canada, so the eastern side of North America, we will have 2 new moons in December, but those on the west side will not. It'll be a different month for them. So why I say this? Because our new moon in Sagittarius, we have November 30th at 10:21 p.m. for the West Coast people, but it comes in at 1 or at sorry, let me get this right. Where's my moon star? It comes in at 1:21 a.m. So it comes in after on to, December 1st for us out here. So that makes it in December, that new moon. But Nancy's going to have her new moon over at the end of November. And we get a new moon at the end of the month. So hence, just depending where you are, you might be feeling that extra new moon energy that's coming in. So the new moon on either November 30th or December 1st, depending on where you are, that's the new moon in Sagittarius. So it is that, remember, new moons are all about the darkness going in and getting really clean and clear of what your intentions are, what you want to grow, right? With that wisdom, that seed that's there. And because it's in Sagittarius, it's like, what's the new journey? What's the next thing that you want to birth out? So we get that newness of like starting something. We can feel that pull to the 2025. It's at 9 degrees a Sagittarius for those of you that want to go check where that actually is in your natal chart and what it might be, what house it's in, and if there's any other planets around at that time. And then our full moon in Gemini is December 15th, and that is 1:02 a.m. Pacific and 4:02 Eastern time on December 15th, and it's at 23 degrees of Gemini. So that fullness in Gemini, 15th, the middle of the month, the energy of like that bright energy, a lot of mental energy that's coming because it's an air sign, Gemini. And it will be also the day that Mercury will go direct again, which I'll talk to you guys about who's going direct and all that, because we have a few plans going direct this month. So that day we also have Mercury on the full moon going direct. So things will like, our mind just may expand quite a bit there for us in our thinking and our new ideas and what's coming in. And then we have that new moon in Capricorn, December 30th. So then that's at 2:27 p.m. for Pacific time and 5:27 p.m. for Eastern time, 9 degrees. So notice we got 2 9 degrees happening there with both of our new moons and nines, that ending to get ready for the new beginning. And we're going into a 9 energy year next in 2025. So there's almost a prepping to energy in there with our new moons. So with the Sagittarius new moon and Capricorn's going to be, obviously, you've heard me talk, it's all right, earthing, grounding, more like, let's root this into the new beginning, right? It's almost like an embodiment of it. And I feel like the 9 with the new moon and Sagittarius on November 30th or December 1st is more at the endings part, where we look at new moon and Capricorn on December 30th. It almost feels like, okay, now we're getting to that new beginning. So I always think, when I think of a 9, I'm also seeing that snake that's eating its tail, that transformational energy and loop that's going through there, right? The snake has wisdom and power and transformation, knows when to shed, right? Its skin, so knows when to let go, and so that there can be a new birthing there. So there's that 9's always going through that period of that. So thinking of that new moon in Sagittarius, which is happening literally in a few days from when we're doing this right now, this forecast, what is really ending in what we're coming into, that new ideas and birthing and setting our plans, right? And that feels fiery, but it's almost that we have to like burn, because it is in Sagittarius fire sign, burn away. Maybe beautiful time to do some burning rituals for this new moon, just letting go, bearing, being done, so you can be fresh and new through this time. And because we are in a retrograde right now with Mercury, there's that reflection that's happening, right? And so let whatever needs to go, go. And so going into these retrogrades, so Mercury just went retrograde yesterday, officially full day. So November 26th, and we'll go direct on the 15th, which is that full moon. But we also have Mars will go retrograde on December 6th. And Neptune, then the very next day, will go direct. So that dreaming. So let me just talk about Mars first. With Mars going retrograde, remember, any retrograde, guys, it's all just about slowing it down and reflection. It's the RE, like redo, reflect, release, like all those. So Mars, all masculine, fiery, wants action, movement. There's a little pause, slow shit down, which is the main message for December. Slow it down. So Mars is going to help you slow it down because it doesn't want to be pushing through birthing anything massively at this time, and nor do you want to with Mercury retrograde. You just kind of want to be more cautious. We may have to keep moving forward, obviously, but just slow down, be more cautious. And then when we have Neptune the very next day going direct, coming out of its retrograde, Neptune's that dreamy, the dreams, the expansion, the intuition, the trusting of what's out there. Nancy was saying that in her messages that she was getting about that, the trust and the faith and those things. So that's just going to feel more easy for us as Neptune goes forward. And then Chiron, the wounded healer, will go direct at the end of the month on the 29th, right as we're getting into that next new moon at the end of the month. So it's like that Chiron is that part of ourselves that we've been working on to heal within ourselves. Like it's a wound. It's the inner child work. It can sometimes not be related to inner like childhood and stuff, but it's just the woundings. A lot of times it is been a pattern back for many times and many cycles for us. And so it will move forward out of that retrograde. So we can almost then get that. It feels like a big exhale, like, ah, holy man. Like we've had Pluto just get out of Capricorn into Aquarius. We talked about that happening on the 19th of November. So it's almost this extra level that will help us come out of anything we've been working on and weaving through, right? So that's I'm like, it's like a deeper breathe in, but also exhale out on December 29th. And so that's like highlights of key things I just want to bring easy enough to digest, that we hear a lot about retrogrades and our moon activity and our seasons shifting, okay? And the energetics of those seasons. Nancy, anything in there with astrology that you feel come in before we go into the numerology?
Um, I just love how it just like tied up little messages that we were sharing, right? Like it was like, oh, right, like, okay, here you go. And here is the why. And so simply, like, and just the whole, um, the Mars Neptune, just really just like that is like, yes, okay, just embrace that energy for this month and allow yourself just to slow down and dream bigger. And then, as you said that, looked at my notes and I was like, really recommit to your dreams is one of the things I had written down for this month. And so it's like, that just really, really supports that energy and the really that deliberate keeps coming back again. Just like even as you were speaking, it was just like, yes, take some time in these coming days of remaining days of November to like commit to how do you want to feel in December? What is it what are these practices that you want to put in place? Allow them to be easy, allow them to be sacred, allow them to help you reconnect with yourself and with your faith. And there's one more part on just numerologically with the new moon differences, because I was like, oh, this is really interesting. What is the energy of the day for me on November 30th versus you on December 1st? And so it's like, on the 30th, we're in a 4 energy with a 3 of hearts. December 1st, we're on a 3 energy with the 4 of diamonds. And so I was like, for me, like the new moon is that new journey is really going to feel like, okay, more what is in my heart that is wanting to come out and be amplified. Whereas that December 1st full moon, sorry, new moon, feels more like, where am I solid in my physical world and where do I get to amplify that out more? So it's like both are incredible and yeses, these big Sagittarius yeses coming through, but just looking at them through a little bit tiny different lens, right? And just being like, okay, say yes to what is feeling good for you.
I love that. And it's funny because my book that I normally have all my numbers daily written out is sitting in the living room. So I'm like, right, I'm gonna quickly have to like do that. And I love how you brought that in because there's the two different energies that are like just, going across a threshold. And we can feel, it doesn't matter if we're on the east to the west, we're gonna kind of feel both, but there's a dancing and a movement and just being aware of that, and especially if you're someone that's really attuned to those energies. And even the fact that, when we talk about dark moon, which is the side of the moon right before it hits the new,
Yeah.
like the newness, like that point, those times, and then it becomes the new moon. But right in there in that darkness and the deepness of it, the medicine that's right there on that November 30th that Nancy was talking about it. So Nancy, just say those two again on the 30th.
The 30th is the 4 with a 3 of hearts, and the first is 3 with a 4 of diamonds.
Yeah, like it's so interesting just the what side you want to look at, the mirror of things, the reflection, the soul reflection, the sacred reflection that you want to go, and like that dark to the light, the dark to the new, right? That just little, so it's playing with that, especially if moon energy really speaks to you to work with, and see how that feels within you. So let's move in to the numerology cardiology for the month ahead, Nancy.
Amazing. So I just want to remind you all that we are in this 8 energy year. We are in the final month of that. So the as we are in this 8, right? We've got our 8 here. To me, it feels very reflective of this December, which is a 2 energy. So we get to that by adding up 2024 is an 8 plus December is 12. So 1 plus 2, add it all together and break it down and we become a 2. But remembering that the 8, we kind of see it as having that, what Roberta just said with the dark and the light, like the two sides, right? So this month, it's kind of like tying up all of those loose ends for 2024. Even the last 8 years running up to now, like just tying those up to leave them here in this year so that we can move into 2025 with a cleaner, more ready for what's next state. That's a 9 energy year. We'll get into that next month. But what I just want you to know from that is there's going to be beautiful opportunities this month to play with that too, as a mirror and a reflection of like, what is it you want to take forward? What is it you want to leave behind? What do you want to celebrate? I'm going to say this word again. Like, I really feel like this too is calling forward. It's not so much about struggling to let things go. It's to allow them to just, okay, I'm done with this. Let it go. Focusing on the things that we want to celebrate and amplify. So that 3 energy that we talked about earlier that we both feel like is here in this month, and not necessarily the numerologically of it, but that whole Jupiter energy, right? It's just like, okay, what are we amplifying in December? So being very clear on what it is that we are choosing to partner with. So that 2 energy is really about balance, connection, partnership, next steps, mirrors, and stability. So like being very deliberate in our choices this month, being very here now and present, which we've like we've talked this already, right? And I love how it always just keeps continuing to come through. So I feel like the two we're going to feel very strongly this month. We also have, there's been a few times this year where we've had this pattern of the day energies playing together and reflecting just back and forth little nuances, just like we talked about with the 30th and the 1st. We have that many times during this month. For example, on December 12th, we have the 5 with the 6 of clubs. Then we go to the 13th and we have the 6 with the 5 of clubs. So it's just like a lot of times day by day, there's just these little back and forths. And it's just like reminding you to focus your lens to what is it that how are you wanting to choose to look at the world through? And there's these great opportunities to be like, okay, that didn't feel so good. Let's flip it. Or, oh my God, that was amazing. Let's amplify that again the next day, kind of thing. So we're starting the month off in the diamonds, which is that physical. We're only in the diamonds for the first 4 days of the month. But we have the 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off kind of thing, right? It's just like, okay, in those days, like those are going to be really good days to get the things that you need to get done for the holidays. If you know, like I know Roberta's moving, so for her it's going to be like, okay, but you know, it's like, okay, maybe that's a great time to be like, okay, I want to get this shopping off my list, or this, or the decorations up, or whatever it is that made those things that might feel like they have to get done. That might be some really good energy to get those stuff done behind, so that when we move in to the clubs on the 5th, then it's a little bit more spacious. We're more in that mental energy. That might be where we're really focusing on how it is that we're wanting to feel, what we want the rest of the season to feel like. Maybe we're really we're knowing that Neptune is coming, I think, so then it's like, okay, what are my dreams? Spending those times in dream time and celebration. The clubs this month, I want you to see the C for clubs equals celebration. So like, every day for those days, I want you to amplify your celebration on those days. And then we're going to move into the hearts on the 18th. And we're going to roll through all of the hearts until the 30th. So that's all around love and, once again, even more celebration, right? So this is also very much the time that we're coming together even more so in celebration, whether it's for solstice or Yule or Christmas, or Kwanzaa starts in that time as well. Like all these different celebrations, right? They're intentional, like coming around the fire really feels important, like reaching out to those that you love, whether you're going to see them or not over this time period, expressing your love for others. I would love to say send love notes in the mail, but who knows if we'll have mail yet at that point. So knowing that there are always ways to connect with those that you love, and taking that time to do that, whether it's a phone call, an email, maybe it's just holding them in your heart during a meditation. Let it be easy, but just really focusing on love for those last 2 and a bit weeks of December and of the year. And then I want to talk about the 31st. So on the 31st, that's what's called, it's the Joker Day in our cardology. So when we have the cards, and it's like one of my favorite days. I always am like, all bets are off on the 31st. Like anything is possible. I love the playful energy of the Joker. And it's just like, okay, so this year it's partnered with the 6 energy. And so to me, that's just like this harmony and balance and support of just like anything that you were dreaming, let's make it become real on that day. Like on the 31st, take some time to dream, to wish, like be very deliberate about it. write it down, burn it if you want to. Like, there does feel like there's some fire energy here, which is why I was like, okay, like burning it, go out, wish upon the stars. Even if it's a super cloudy day, know that those stars are always there. So just go out and wish anyway. Like, light a sparkler, and like all of those things, just really celebrate you and your dreams on the 31st. And then I'm just repeating patterns we talked about. On solstice, the 21st, we have a 5 energy with the 10 of hearts. And I just was like, love is all around us. Just like really feel that love that is available to us and that we are able to give out to the world that day. Um, and then when Roberta was talking about the full moon in Gemini and being all up in your head, it's an 8. We are supported with this being an 8 with a 3 of clubs energy day. So it really, the energy there just really does want to help us to align our thoughts and our values, our self belief, and amplify it. With that 8 and that 3 just feels like extra amplification. So yes, you might, if you find yourself stuck in your head that day, or just all the things, really bring it back down into your heart and be like, okay, what is it that I truly believe? Who is it that I truly am? And give yourself time and space for that. And we talked about the new moon. And I think those are all my highlights that I want to talk about. I am really excited for December.
Yeah. It feels very kind of different than other Decembers or other holiday seasons. There's a shift. Like, I mean, we know we're going through big shifts, but there's almost like this new, hey, how do you want to do something in a different way? Like we're setting a different tone of how we are present, how we're celebrating, how we're moving through the month, how we're moving through the season, the holidays, the celebrations, like all of those things. We're setting course for something to keep carrying through. And the other thing I'm going to say, as you were talking about, bringing back that December 15th, kind of pretty much like that midpoint of the month and that Gemini full moon, and that Mercury going direct that day, and the support with the 8 energy day, with the 3 of clubs, all of that. There may be like I almost, when you're talking, I can almost feel like our system, our mind, our bodies are going, okay, we're turning directions, or we're turning like almost like I don't know, like there's a something in a block in the wheel turning, and we're kind of like, what? So if you feel that, because Nancy brought that, if you feel like you're like, what on that day, pause even more deeply, root in, connect in. There's so much trying to come through with mind and communication. And remember, communication with, first of all, Gemini, full moon, the energy of that full moon being in Gemini, right? Like that, just so much communication, and Gemini, that back and forth energy of air quality of things. The Mercury's trying to go direct that day, right? So it's trying to move forward in a different way. And then we got the 3 of clubs, and clubs are about that communication, trying to amplify us. So it's almost like if you're finding you're not a liner, it feels that kind of stickiness or stuckness, just relax, relax in it. And anything where there's, I almost feel like a block, like the dam is blocked in your system, or something like it's trying to get online in a different way. Your systems, you're thinking, like, receiving. Just do a little check-in, ask for support. We all always think we gotta like do so much. We think we have to do so much to even get out of these things, and we're trying to figure it out and pull out all of our healing tools and what we've learned in our lessons. Like it's almost that like we have to shift. So ask for divine, ask your guides, ask your healthy whole, passed on loved ones, your ancestors, spirit animals, whatever you work with, spirit, nature, go outside, the trees, just ask for the support to help you align into this day. Go out to the full moon and ask Luna, Bella Luna, ask Grandmother Moon to help you cleanse and clear and pave the way and open that flow. Okay, so lots of support, lots of tools that are naturally there to help you, but also remember, you don't have to do it all on your own. You're going to block yourself and make that dam, like that water flowing, right? The dam. It's a lot of beaver energy. We just had the beaver full moon. So like, you don't have to do that, right? See what has to come out so there's flow. I'm just going to pull a card before we pause the recording so that we have two different recordings for when we go into the card readings. So I'm going to just pull a card here from the Sacred Creators Oracle deck from Chris Ann. Just as we're shifting from one month into the next, support and guidance for us collectively, please. And I got your soul shines.
Beautiful.
Like that star, right? That energy, like the star on top of the Christmas tree, right? So remember, like as you're moving from November, and happy Thanksgiving to all of our American friends and members of the community, because tomorrow's Thanksgiving Day from when we're live now, and all the celebration, it starts, we feel it kind of, especially here in Canada, we definitely feel, I think, that celebration that the states are doing for holidays, or even here, even though we've had our Thanksgiving, it's like the marker, at least for me, it's like, oh, I can start to celebrate holidays and Christmas at this time. The Christmas movies, we can start watching them. Like I have this thing that I always say with Richard, I'm like, oh, we can start watching the Christmas movies. So be that star, get the star out. Think about that. Get ready. Let it, your soul and you shine in your life as you're transitioning. So we're just going to do a little pause. We're not going anywhere in the community, but we're going to pause, start a fresh new recording. So those of you that would like to see what the cards are going to be weekly, stay tuned for that in the group, or obviously look for the next video on social media, especially on my YouTube channel.